Hey guys, what's going on? Lucky here. So here's a update on the wagon. It's all together. I drove it yesterday, cruised it around. It felt good, sounded good, everything was fine. I went to go put gas in it, and what I did was I hit up a local shop that I've actually dealt with for years to build the radiator. And actually, I sent it over there to have it checked out because it felt super heavy to me. And the deal with metal radiators, if they're years and years old, they get tons of sediment inside there. And that's what had happened. So they had rotted it out, which means they've taken a rod and cleaned out all the cords. But when they put it back together, I think they missed a spot because you can't really tell, but the tank is leaking at the top, which kind of sucked because, you know, as you can tell, I put a little time and effort into the detail on this thing. And fired it up and let it run. Didn't let it get hot or anything, but everything sounded fine, so I started driving it. And only when it got up to temperature did it start leaking coolant. So I was all the way down at the gas station and realized it was blowing coolant on all over everything. So that's going to sit here. I'm going to drain out all the coolant, which a lot of it drained out overnight. But clean it all up again and then progress with that. I think I'm just going to order a frostbite radiator for it. I was trying to keep it looking somewhat like original, but forget it. I'll just get an aluminum radiator and paint it black. Right now I'm working on the C10. It's Sunday. I generally like to try to play catch up on my own cars on weekends. Well, so I'm not always able to, but it's been driving me crazy driving around with this one fugly door. And I have a bitchin' door sitting right over there, that orange door that I bought from a guy that I met at the Saturday morning cruise. And sort of orange red, looks good. So I'm going to put that on and lube it up. And I've kind of been neglecting this door, knowing that I was going to replace it at some point. So I've actually got lock cylinder and keys for the thing. I'll be able to lock this deal. Got those online. And that's it. I got all the bolts out, took out the window wing, and got the glass out without actually scratching the tint. So I did have it tinted. So I do a lot of work on my own cars, and I generally work by myself. It doesn't really bother me. I do have friends to help me, but sometimes I don't prefer to just do it by myself. So I do little cheats like this. I've used a floor jack to balance the door on. I don't know if you can actually see it. And then I can jack the door up to whatever level I like. Slide it in, move it around. Once you get the top bolts in, make them snug, but not tight. You need to be able to move it around. The correct way to do this is put the door on before the fender, and you line the door up with the edge of the front rocker. Get a clean line on the bottom of the rocker and the bottom of the door, and then check everything else. It generally is pretty close, assuming the vehicle's not in an accident. And then you put the fender on afterwards. There are positions, the hinges are bolted side to side on the behind the fender, which makes it difficult to actually move the door forwards or backwards. You should never have to put shims between the hinge and the door. Not too far off. Okay, so the bottom of the door actually looks really good, and the top is a little bit too far forward. But it will close for now. Lines are pretty close. So the correct procedure for doing this is you remove obviously the window crank and the door handle. Then you take off the armrest. That's Phillips head screws that are up inside the armrest. Before you take anything else apart, take out the 4 bolts or 4 screws on the bottom to remove the door panel. And then you've got this view. Take out 2 screws at the bottom of the window wing channel and Phillips head screws on the front. Before you remove that, take those screws out. With the window rolled up, take out 1 Phillips head screw here, 2 here, and remove the rear window channel. It's made of metal. You have to kind of pull the seal off. You can plan on breaking the felt. If it's original, this thing's going to break and fall apart, so plan on replacing that if you do go that far into this. Once you do that, you can remove this very easily, and the window wing comes out pretty simple. Once you remove that, you roll the window up, centering the glass as it goes. Don't let go of the glass, it can fall either direction. And you overextend it, and then you're able to slide it because there's no window wing here and there's no track down here. You can slide it and remove it. So it's not as difficult as it looks. And putting it back together is obviously the same thing backwards. If you have a window tint, be careful not to let the inside of the glass hit anything because it will scratch the tint. Since I changed the entire door scheme, I'm going to, I had to take the latch assembly and everything out. So now's a good time to lube it up. Here's that rear track I was talking about. Now I never had door locks for this thing, so I went online and I grabbed some. Okay, so there's a reason. They send you all that hardware. It's because the reproduction isn't an exact reproduction. So they send you a new retainer. The gasket obviously is probably pretty close, and then the pawl retainer. So that's kind of okay. Now for the big test. Okay. That will slow down a good thief exactly 30 seconds. To be slow. Good. Retainer. One thing I have to do is I need patina paint inside the door because it's orange. And my car came with a goldish interior painted down. Right, get all the ones over. I guess the right one. I'll work on it. I can feed. You can actually listen to that in part, but also start it. You'll see exactly what you're doing. these, just plan on buying new ones. If you're super careful, like I put these in just before Vegas trip, just because I didn't want to listen to the wind noise all the way there, and I ended up listening to the wind noise all the way there anyway. But they are pretty difficult to remove once they're installed. Without them being like alrighty. Go up. Door handle. Big test. It looks like it belongs there. See you guys. Thanks for checking it out. Hey guys, what's going on? Just put a video up on YouTube installing this new old used door. Overhauled the whole thing. It's all together now.